Hi everyone, this is Ben with RoundTable Media. Here at RoundTable Media, we are dedicated to producing a variety of content. Whether it's news and information or education and entertainment, you're sure to find it here at RoundTable Media. If you're a fan of history, this is definitely the place you want to be. Visit historic locations with our History Across America series. We talk to people making a difference, and we visit some really cool locations in the process. Consider becoming a paid subscriber for as little as $8 a month or $129 a year. By becoming a paid subscriber, you have access to exclusive content, extended interviews, and up to 20% off prices on our online store. And your subscription allows us to continue to produce quality content for your screen. Watch us on your Roku device, Amazon Fire TV, or by downloading our app, available in the Apple App Store or Google Play. We also offer our viewers a travel booking engine similar to Expedia or Travelocity, where you can get up to 30% off your next hotel or resort. The link is in the description. Have a great day, be safe, and thank you so much for your support.
Hey you guys, we are here in the heart of Martinez today. We are going to be visiting with an in-home based business. Let's go in and find out exactly what's up.
Hey, come on in.
Hey, how are you?
We're doing good.
Oh, look at this sweet baby.
This is Miss Patches.
Oh, she knows around.
No, she'll just bark.
Hey, that's
Here, come on
okay.
in.
How are you?
I'm doing good today. A little allergies, but other
Yeah.
than that, I'm doing well.
Yeah, well, we're here in the area, so anyway, well, everything looks so beautiful.
Well, thank you. Come on, let's have a seat.
Okay, good, 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 good.
I'll show you some of the products and what we do. And this is, hey, it's okay. Here, sit right there. Good girl. That's a
So
good girl.
sweet.
She's just saying hello.
Yes, she is.
She always sits in my lap. So maybe I'll put her to the side a little bit so we can talk. Yeah.
Well, Dana, tell me a little bit about your business and how you actually got started.
Well, I got started, I needed some window draperies, some
Okay.
custom curtains when I lived in Aiken.
Okay.
We lived in Woodside, and I was referred to someone there named Terry.
Okay.
She came in my home, and we were getting some quotes and talking about her business, and she was just going into the blind and shutter business herself,
Okay.
her and her husband. And she started naming all these builders in different neighborhoods in Aiken, and I was like, well, you know, I'm from a builder's family. I grew up
Right.
and was born and raised in Aiken, South Carolina. My dad's a residential builder, and my brothers are still building today.
Right.
So I was like, well, I know that builder, and I know that builder, and my brother's a builder, so why don't I just start referring you to some people? So I just kind of went and printed up some brochures of my own, just on some bright yellow paper, and I just started handing them out, putting them out in new construction.
So you were actually helping someone else build their business, and it was successful.
Yes.
Which now you've always, what I have heard of you and known of you, you have always been that referral connection type person. Didn't you work at the chamber
Yes.
for a while, a long time ago?
Yeah. After I was referring them, I approached a carpet store and showed her the numbers I had referred to my previous owner or managers.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to hire you now. So I worked for that carpet store for a year, and then I went into my business. I saved up enough money to buy the products. And,
Yeah.
And so, but as far as the chamber goes,
Yeah.
later on down the road, I did work for the Aiken Chamber of Commerce. I also
Yeah.
did their shutters there.
Oh, awesome.
In their building. And I did that for about 3 or 4 years, and I loved working with them. I was in
Yes.
sales and promoted, business owners to become members, and it was
Right.
very easy for me.
That's
'cause
right.
If I believe in something, it's not hard to convince people to come join with me. So,
Right.
But yeah.
So what I'm hearing you saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm hearing you say you were helping someone else, you found a need, you helped them, you were connecting them, and then a business organically grew
Mm-hmm.
from this.
Yes, and I came up with the name Window Decor by Dana.
Okay.
I set up my LLC, went to an attorney, did all that. And I started working out of my home. I offer free in-home consultations to business owners, but I mostly deal with residential.
Okay.
I service the whole CSRA.
Okay. But when you began, were you in Aiken?
I was in Aiken.
You were in
Yeah,
Aiken.
where I
okay.
grew up.
And then
yeah.
you transitioned, and now you're over here in the Augusta area.
Yes,
Okay.
I got remarried
Okay.
over 10 years ago to Patrick.
wow.
And so I moved here, but most of our business still comes from Aiken.
Oh, wow.
I'm meeting with a few builders here and there, trying to get my name out there. I advertised for a while prior to COVID, and since COVID, I'm not advertised as
Sure.
much, but I still stay plenty busy because of word of mouth.
Right. Absolutely.
I've done it long enough that my customers either sell their home, move, or I've even had one recently that moved from Aiken to North Carolina, and we FaceTime for 2 hours, and we
Wow.
did woven woods, and I'm just shipping them to her and just going to tell her how to install them. They're pretty easy to install.
Sure,
We couldn't do that if it was shutters.
Right.
But yeah, I have referrals. They come back around again, and then they tell their neighbors or their friends about me. So I haven't had to advertise for almost 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
word of mouth is good.
Yeah, and that's such a serendipity, I think, of everything that we've, been through for the past 4 years is once you find those credible people to work with, you're like, oh, I don't want to go with anyone else. I just want to
Exactly.
keep working and building that relationship because there's such a trust there.
Yeah.
So that is awesome. Well, I am eager to see some of the things that you offer. So
Okay,
tell
let me
me.
sit- Miss Patch is down. Sit right there.
And you mentioned too, going in and helping someone. So you do free consultations. So what does that look like if somebody, is saying, I have no idea, because this would be me. I have no idea what I want.
Yes.
Like, is that frustrating for you?
No, not at all, because I usually just start with I sell blinds, shades, and shutters.
Okay.
But there's a lot kind of that goes in with that. And if they really don't know what they're wanting, then I'll just take quite a few samples.
Sure.
And maybe I'll take 1 or 2 in the house first so we don't overwhelm them. And then I walk through the home with them and kind of get a feel for what their need is, first of all.
Sure.
If it's a major sun problem, then we're going to need a certain
Sure.
product. If it's a window that's on the second story, like over in River Island, we did a house there, and they have the sun goes down, well, it's in the afternoon, of course.
Sure.
So you got all this sunlight. It's so bright. They had 4 huge windows up high, like in my house.
Yeah.
And so we did motorized shades. And all you do is hit a remote, and you can
Yeah.
open and close them anytime. So that's a nice feature. But yes, I love going in. I love making suggestions. A lot of people, when they call me, though, they know kind of what they want, whether it's a shutter. I've been selling a lot of the woven woods lately.
Yeah.
These
Those
are
are
very
beautiful.
popular. These just bring texture into a room. You can do color. I have an entire book here with samples. This is really popular. This
Yeah.
one.
Oh, I love this one.
This one reminds me of something my dad had in his office when I was growing up.
Oh, yeah.
But what's nice about it is that you can have this like this, but you can also have a liner behind it, light filtering, or you can do
changes.
privacy. Yeah, you have some choices here. The woven woods, I have sold these more lately than I have anything. Shutters are always popular. Shutters are very.
Would you say shutters are like the classic thing? I mean, is it just the timeless? Like
Yes.
you're always going to have a need for
Exactly,
shutters
and-
if they, yeah.
That's true. And as you see when we walk through my home, you'll see
Yeah.
I'm a shutter girl. I
Yeah.
love shutters. And how I found out about Norman Shutters is #1 in the industry.
Oh, wow.
They are wonderful shutters. They come in different louver sizes. I tell you, to be honest, 3.5-inch louver is probably the most popular right now.
Okay.
This, of course, is a 2.5, so you see what that looks like.
Okay.
They came out with a 3-inch in 2019, which is also a really nice size for a louver. What I like about Norman too is they have the tilt rod
Oh, yeah.
here, and then they also have it without the tilt rod. the invisible tilt is what they call it. So that's a very nice feature if you're just not wanting something else. You know, a lot of times you have those grids on your windows, and to have something else going down the middle of your windows, just people want it clean. So the shutters are awesome. They're kilt dried according to your zip code, if I said that word properly.
Wow.
So they're not going to discolor, they're not going to yellow. I don't get phone calls back. I'll be honest, when I first went into business, a gentleman that was an installer is the one that told me about Norman. And they're wonderful to install, but not just installation wise, the quality. It's family owned. And like I said, every year they get a checklist of any complaints from people like me out in the field, and they check off. They try to make corrections to any, from the shipping to the product itself.
So they're really listening to their customers.
Exactly. But they are number one in the industry. They're easy to sell. They sell themselves. I had a customer tell me one time he's had shutters in several homes as he's moved across the United States. They were in the military. And whenever we installed their shutters, he was like, these are the best quality shutters I've ever seen.
Wow.
So that's a compliment to Norman.
Oh, sure.
And then also, as far as the other products go, what I try to do is, I knew when I got in business, I wanted good quality. A lot of the other products are out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
The blinds are taking like 2 to 3 weeks. From the blinds, the honeycomb shades, the woven woods are all about 3 weeks or less. I actually placed an order on Monday for a motorized shade and for a customer in Westlake, and they came in Thursday.
Wow.
Now, I don't guarantee that. I promise that in any way, but that was super fast for even me and Patrick. We're like, what? That was super fast.
Wow.
But the products that I sell, I don't want to be in the repair business. Of course, every now and then we do have a little honeycomb shade, a string might break, but that's not common. But if it does, you just call us and we go back out. So my thing too is we try to offer excellent customer service. We try to leave your home the way we found it, nice and tidy. We haul off all our trash. And if you need anything, just call me back.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 20 years almost, so
yeah.
I'm not planning on stopping now. I just want new customers.
That's right.
Trying to build my business over here in the Augusta area.
Sure.
We've got great people. We also did the Wilcox in Aiken.
Oh, wow.
They bought some homes and redid them across the street from the Wilcox.
Right, I
and we
remember
went
that.
and did shutters in there, upstairs and then around back downstairs. It's really, really nice in there.
What are some of the businesses or commercial areas that you have done, just so, because
in Aiken we did a senior living place before. They did shutters. Now what was neat about that, I went there one time and they actually opened their shutters. A lot of people don't open the shutters, they just open and tilt the louvers.
Sure.
But the windows were kind of short, so they liked the feel of that and opening the windows. Of course, I said the Wilcox, the Aiken Chamber of Commerce. I did Dr. Kite's dentist office. I believe she's not in her office anymore.
Sure.
I think she's working somewhere else.
Yeah.
We also did Gray's Craze over here.
Okay.
That just opened up on Evans to Lock Road. We did some motorized honeycomb shades there.
Oh, wow.
So like I said, we have products. If we can help you, you just call me and we'll see if we have a fit.
Yeah.
For the person. But a few of the things we have, a lot of people go with blinds. That's just the general customer. Usually they know what blinds are. So we have different types of blinds. They come in 2 and 2.5 inch sizes. The 2.5 is a lot more popular now. Blinds are all cordless now. This just happened a few months back.
Oh,
due to some child safety. They're all cordless.
Okay.
So they're definitely safe. And these do not warp, fade, yellow, or bow.
Oh, wow.
I've been in some homes before and we've removed some blinds that were totally yellow and warped and sagging. And so now I know why they called me. But anyway, we have blinds are just very common. People know what they are. So we also have the honeycomb shade, which I'll show you. We have lots of samples in my books I have here.
Sure.
But this is a type of a cordless honeycomb shade. It's really nice.
Oh, wow.
This is the 3/8 double cell pleat. But as you see, what it does, it just installs up and then you just pull it up or down. This also comes motorized. It has a top down, bottom up feature.
Okay.
A lot of people that would go with that would be like in a master bath.
Okay.
Or if you have a window in the front of your house, but you want some light.
Sure.
You can drop it down from the top down and allow some nice sunlight in, but you still have your privacy to get ready for the day.
Do you see that often, that you're going into homes and it's like people, you know, in different times of the day, they want a different thing? I mean, are you know, it's almost like the hairdresser, when you sit down, you're like, I know I need something, I know I want something, but I'm not sure what I need. So do you feel, I know you feel confident, that's not the right word, but Is it okay for you to truly give your opinion? Because I know for me, I would be like, just tell me, what do I need? You know, tell me what to do.
Yeah.
How do you approach that whenever people, you know?
Well, like for shutters, they're called furniture for your windows. They can be heavy. Some people right away will steer away. No, I don't want that. I don't want something heavy. I want something light, and I want the whole view. So that's when the honeycomb shade would come in, or possibly a really nice roller shade, which is what is here. Brings a little more texture into the room, kind of like the woven woods did.
Sure.
We did a house out at the lake for a business here, and she had a kitchen, and the sunlight just comes in and beats into her kitchen. She has 2 windows right in the front. And so we did some beautiful motorized roller shades with this. And they're perfect. They work great for her. She can just hit the button. They come down while she's cooking, and then after that, the sun is set, and then she can raise them back up and enjoy her view.
Right.
Of course, she lives on the lake, so that's a view.
That is right. That's an
as
awesome
far
view.
as something else that I've been asked about, a lot of the homes that I did when I first started were in Woodside over in Aiken.
Yeah.
But we still have golf courses. You have all that sun coming in. A lot of people ask about like their floors. They're concerned about their floors being ruined from the sun. Your furniture, your rugs fading.
Sure.
Because it happens. It's a real thing.
Sure.
It happened to me in my home years ago when we had a sun problem. But these are called silhouettes. This is a silhouette. And what's nice about the silhouette, I'll take this out, is that it gives you 88% UV protection.
Okay.
With you still getting a view. So,
oh, wow.
So there, we're protecting your piano.
Sure.
This is protecting your oak floors, your dining room chairs, your living room furniture, your fabrics. And so what it is, see, it's a floating louver with a sheer on the front and the back.
How cool is that?
And it also comes in room darkening. Many options, many styles. It's got a really nice linen. I'm not sure if this is the linen one. No, this one's pretty simple and kind of clean, but it's a nice one in here. Different sizes, 2.5 to 3 inch.
Sure.
Different fabrics, different colors. Also motorized.
Wow. The motorized, that is so cool.
We can also connect to Google and your Alexa device.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we've done that for a doctor in Westlake a few years ago. That was very important to him in his master bedroom for him to say, Alexa, open my blinds.
Sure.
Or my shades is what he said.
Sure.
So that worked out really nice. So we have a lot of different options for customers, just depending on what their need is, and maybe the sun problem, if that's what it is, or if it's just a privacy issue.
Okay, so I know you're expanding, basically is what you're doing. You're expanding over here in this area versus Aiken, or Aiken only. So who would you say is your target customer that you're looking for right now, if there is one?
Yeah, well, most of the time we're called when people are in new construction.
Okay.
But here lately, with all the damage with Helene, people are having to remodel their homes.
Sure.
I'm in Westlake, River Island, Champions Retreat, different, just all over Augusta, actually, not just those main subdivisions.
Sure.
But people that are just remodeling. They're taking down their blinds, they're wanting something new like woven woods, or they're wanting shutters.
Sure.
Those are really my customers. A new business opening up, or I had a nail salon that their customers complained about the sun beaming in certain times of the day.
Sure.
And so they called me and we did some shades for them. So most of my customers are residential, but I'm open to business owners as well.
And then also, next question, how can people best access you?
By myself.
Your cell number.
I do that mostly. Most people call me. They find me on Google.
Okay.
Again, it's Window Decor by Dana.
And that's your preference. I mean, you want people just to call you.
Yes, I like to talk to people.
I
love people. You know me. I love people. I love to meet people.
Right.
That's why I did so well probably with the chamber, because I love business owners.
Yeah. Okay, so how about people?
Easy.
How about these people who don't like to talk to people?
They can text me. Some people text me.
Okay.
And I do have an email. But to be honest, and sometimes I get something from Google, but even the people that see me on Google, they usually call. And I answer my phone.
That's right. Yeah, me too. Me too.
I like to talk to people. I'm that person at Walmart or wherever that I don't want to check out by myself. I want to go through the line and see somebody check me out. So I'm very personable. I'm like hands-on.
That's right. Well, that's got to play well, honestly, in this area where customer service is definitely shifting. We're definitely shifting. And something like this where it's a great investment into their home, which is one of the biggest investments you're going to make.
It is.
So why not have an expert giving you that advice and giving you that help? you know, just help. And from what
Exactly.
you've seen in the experience, 20 years. You've
I
been doing this
know.
for 20 years.
It doesn't seem like it. It went by really quick. Now, I did take a little break when Patrick and I first met. I moved from Aiken to here.
Sure.
And I had to tell the chamber goodbye. Just had a lot going on with kids.
Sure.
And then and then we moved to Oregon for a year. So I did take a break. But right when we came back to Aiken, before we were able to move back to Augusta, Patrick actually was my installer for a while as well. So that's been really nice. But I think we're getting to the point where I've got another couple installers.
Sure.
So he's kind of fading out. And my other installers have been helping us for a while. He's trained them. So we have great installers as well. Of course, as you see, I'm not the installer.
Right.
I'm just the person that comes in and helps find what you need for your home or your business. And then I usually do go with my installers though,
Sure.
just because I know, and it just seems to be easier for me to be there. I don't necessarily have to be, but
Sure.
maybe it's that hands-on that I just like to see the finished product myself.
That's right. Well, you want to know that it's done. You want to know that it's done right because you're the one.
Yeah. And my
offering the
installer is
service.
an extension of me. I'm like, hey, if there's sawdust somewhere, you need to sweep it up. You need to clean up behind yourself.
That's
we need to
right.
make sure that they know we weren't there, except for the product on the windows.
And you came from a long legacy of builders.
Yes.
So that gives you that contract knowledge and the people skill knowledge of how people are supposed to be treated.
Exactly. I
In
got that from
industry.
my dad.
Yes.
My dad always said, hey, if people referred him, he did a little something, for the referrals, with the home buyers coming to see him.
Sure.
And so what I do sometimes, I'll say, hey, you sent me a referral, here's a little gift card.
That's right.
I'm not buying your business.
That's
I'm
right.
just saying thank you for the referral.
That's
because again, if I was advertising, I'd be paying for it.
That's exactly
and
right.
To be honest, word of mouth is the best advertisement. So I'm thankful that God has just blessed me with great customers and now a long time of doing the business that I have constant customers coming in. I'm just trying to grow it.
That's
like
it.
you said, I don't know if I told you, but I'm in Aiken a lot more than I'm in Augusta. And I love Aiken, don't get me wrong. My family still lives there. I'm just trying to build up more business here. And I say there's plenty to go around for all of us in this
Absolutely.
industry.
Oh my gosh, so much.
I just
And
want a piece of the pie.
That's it.
That's all.
That's it. That sounds good. That's awesome. Well, thank you for letting us come into your
I'm
beautiful
so glad.
home today.
It's been fun.
Yes, it has been fun. Best way to reach out you is Cell, and people
Yes.
can find that, and we'll show your information on there too.
yeah.
And you are the one who answers your phone. These are my
Yes.
big takeaways.
That's
and
me.
if you don't answer, leave a message.
Oh, yes. I'll
Just
call you
leave
back.
a
But I
message.
usually answer. My phone's
Okay.
with me 24/7. Well, let me take that back. At nighttime, I don't keep my phone with me. But we'll call them back in the morning. Yeah, I'm definitely available.
Right. That's awesome. Well, thank you again. And I am so excited to see your expansion all over.
Oh, me
and
too.
It's going to be great.
Looking forward to being busy.
That's
Busier.
it. That's it. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tina.
You're welcome.
What's Up is a departure from traditional advertising and marketing, offering a way to grow your business or enlarge your community event through visual strategies utilizing social media and television. Let us share you, your business, or event in a brand new light. Reach out to us today to discover how we can best serve you. Enjoy our content? Consider becoming a contributor today. Your support will help cover production costs and allow us to continue to bring quality content to your screen. Simply go to our website and hit the button at the top of the screen. As a thank you, your name will be featured in the closing credits of the show. Thank you for your support. How would you like to save money on your next hotel or resort booking? If the answer is yes, then go to lifeunlimitedtravel.net and book your stay. We're excited to offer our viewers up to a 35% savings on more than 1 million properties worldwide through our exclusive travel booking portal. Save money on top brand hotels like Marriott and Hilton. Go to lifeunlimitedtravel.net, fill out the information, then start planning your next vacation today. Whether it's a weekend getaway to Charleston, Orlando, or an adventure to the Bahamas, Europe, or Asia, save money on your next hotel or resort with exclusive rates not available on public travel booking websites. Simply go to lifeunlimitedtravel.net. Travel Portal is provided by Experian. Access to Travel Portal is a complimentary service to our viewers.
Hi, I'm Ben Goss, executive producer of What's Up.
And I'm Tina Carter, the host of What's Up, or the hostess.
The hostess.
I'm the hostess.
Yeah,
I'm the hostess.
Yep.
It's me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Over the last couple of years, you've seen us in attics, making snowballs, in the kitchen cooking. We've been everywhere.
Yeah.
But over the last year, we decided that we needed a change in our marketing and promotional structure.
Absolutely. Ben's right. You know, over the past 4 years, we have seen a lot of economic shifting going on, especially here in the CSRA. And what we know is businesses are under a little bit of duress, hopefully coming out of it now. But we've been impacted by everything that we've seen for the last 4 years. And so we feel that our passion is to go into businesses, events, arts and entertainment, everything local here in the CSRA, and actually help promote them.
Exactly, exactly.
So in the past, we have had a compensation schedule, and it has worked very, very well. It's been very economical and affordable for small businesses. But during this time, we feel a shift is needed. And so what we are doing is we are putting together a promotional plan for each and every business to have the opportunity to have us come in and promote their business.
Absolutely. We want to come into your business, find out what you do, find out what separates you, sets you apart from your competition. We want to get in your space and showcase you. Exactly, and come in and advocate for the consumer and to find out what makes you unique and different.
Absolutely, and it's not just businesses, just like you know, Ben and I, obviously small business owners, but it's arts and entertainment. Maybe someone with a campaign. Yeah, we've been doing some political things. So
exactly,
the possibilities are endless. We are working on everything from social media products. If you have a new business or a startup or any idea, anything like that, where you want a promotional video, we can come in and help you do that.
Awesome. And also, if you're a real estate agent, we'll come to your house that you have for sale and do a walk-in and tour of the house and market it.
That's right, marketing. And there are a lot of still for sale by owners. If they need our services, we are here and we are ready to absolutely showcase you, your business, your product, whatever you have in the best light possible. Ben Goss has been doing this for years, and he is training me, and boy, good job.
You're getting better. You're improving. You're good.
Good.
You're going to be operating the camera for not too long.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
But I will not be hosting. I will not be in front of the camera. At least I try not to. Every now and then I have to step in when it's needed, but I'm much prefer being behind the camera.
There we go. But we would love to meet you. If you are someone who needs this type of service, or a service maybe that we haven't thought of yet, we are open to new opportunity. And we look forward to hearing from you very, very soon. So reach out to us, connect with us, let us hear from you, and we are looking forward to meeting you very, very soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. Take care. God bless. We look forward to hearing from you soon.
Carter.
And
who are you?
I don't know who I am.
Okay, you ready?
Okay.
I'm Tina Carter.
And I'm Ben Goss, executive producer of What's Up. Okay, I'm supposed to continue. Okay. Hi, I'm Ben. Hi, I'm Ben Goss. Hi, I'm What's Up. I am What's Up. I am What's Up. Yep, that's me. 3, 2, 1.
Who are you?
I'm Ben. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Ben Goss with Bailey.
Hush, what's up?
Hey, how would you like to win some tickets to the Atlanta Braves home game throughout the 2025 season? If the answer to that question is yes, go to our website, RoundTableTV.net, and scroll down the homepage, and you will see trivia contest. Answer all 5 questions correctly, and you will be entered into a drawing to win Braves tickets. We'll be doing this throughout the 2025 season. So you can also purchase tickets on our website as well for select Atlanta Braves home games. So look forward to giving away tickets this year, and go Braves.
Introducing the Zen Body line of products now available for purchase on our website. Zen Bean Infrared Brew is a one-of-a-kind nootropic coffee, expertly infrared roasted for a smooth, rich flavor. This premium blend goes beyond regular coffee by incorporating ingredients that naturally boost mood, energy, and focus. Also available in pods. Get your day started with Slim Brew Superfood Coffee, packed with powerful antioxidants and metabolism-boosting ingredients to support weight management, and it tastes like chocolate. Try their protein shake packed with 20 grams of protein, available in 4 delicious flavors. Become a subscriber for up to 20% off our online price. Simply go to our website to order.
It was lived in by 2 prominent families in the 19th century. First the Woodruffs, then the Fontaine family, hence the title, Woodruff Fontaine House. The Woodruffs were here. They had the home built in 1871. They moved in 1871. They were only here till 1883. In 1883, the Fontaine family moved in. And the Fontaine family was here. Their time here in the mansion spanned close to 46 years. The death of the matriarch, Mrs. Virginia Fontaine, in 1928, that actually put an end to the home being a private residence.
What would you describe the architect? Is it Victorian?
Now, technically, it's kind of lumped into the French Victorian category. However, it is Second Empire. Second Empire is a style that started popping up in France under the reign of Napoleon III. And when you look at the outside of our mansion, you'll see the beautiful sloped, what they call the mansard roof. And some of the architectural detailing was very popular for the Second Empire. So technically this is a Second Empire, and we'll just call it French Victorian because that's really what it is. And I love architecture, and that's another thing. I love it when guests come in with their knowledge of architectural styles too, because I've learned some things from guests.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
How big is the home?
Well, it's 6 levels when you count the basement all the way up to the uppermost level. We have 2 smaller levels that aren't for living purposes. We call it the tower. So you're 6 levels deep and you're over 11,000 square feet.
Wow.
The tower, 2 upper levels on the tower, 3 fully furnished floors of living space, and then our basement. So that's 6 levels.
Wow. So what can people expect when they come here for a tour?
They can expect to see some very lovely, beautiful antiquities. The majority of the antiques, they are period. They did not belong to family members. Some pieces here did belong to families that were donated back by their descendants. When we first opened in 1964, we were empty. We were open for architectural tours, and we started receiving donations. But they can expect to see some beautiful antiquities. We like to have stories with our pieces. They can see some lovely antique textiles. Depending on the season, they can see anything from a lovely summer frock to an exquisite ball gown from the 19th century.
They can hear stories about our families, their prominence here in the city, and how they helped develop Memphis in the early days. It's an experience you just want to be here for. We host museum fundraising events. We have some really fun events through the year. We have twilight tours that we do at least once a month, where we do behind the scenes evening tours. And I love to bring guests through here so they can see how beautiful it looks in the evening. Twilight tours are very popular. Like I said, we do those like at least once a month. When we get closer to our really popular seasons of like September, October, November, I'll try to get more than one on the books, because they are very popular and they will sell out. And it's lovely. You come through here and you see the low lights and the beautiful candles, fake candles, of course. So that's always fun to have people come in the evening. It's just, it takes it's a totally different look at the home, a totally different way the home looks. Okay, so over here, this is Amos and Phoebe Woodruff. These are watercolors of them when they were a bit younger. This is Amos and Phoebe, a bit older, and their 4 children. From the left over here, that is Sally. She was the eldest child. Over here is Molly, the second oldest, and then Corabelle and Frank, the 2 youngest. Frank was the youngest of all the children. And they also had a son that died in infancy. They are originally from Rahway, New Jersey. Mr. Woodruff was a very successful businessman in Rahway, New Jersey. He owned a very successful carriage making business at that time, and many other businesses. He wanted to expand his company. So he came down from Rahway, New Jersey to Memphis in the mid-1840s because he wanted to see what opportunities were here to be had. We've been a city since 1819, but Memphis really started making waves across the nation when it was discovered how our neighboring states, Mississippi and Arkansas, how rich that delta soil was for things like cotton crops. And many opportunities to happen in Memphis, a newly formed port city. So here he comes from New Jersey, and he decides apparently straight away that he likes it. He wants to not just expand his business, but he wanted to become a community member. He wanted to make Memphis their permanent home, his family's permanent home. At that time, it was he and Phoebe, his wife, who, by the way, was never too crazy about moving down here to Memphis, which I can't really say that I blame her. She was a well-to-do, already established social maven right outside of New York City. So you can imagine it was kind of bleak, the thought of her coming down here to this, well, we can't say it any other way. It was a backwater, frontier, really nasty river town. It was 19th century America. But you know, Phoebe being a female, she didn't have any rights. Females had little to no rights in the 19th century. If you were married, you did what your husband said, so she had to come down here with Amos, and they started their family. Sally was born in New Jersey, and then they expanded their family, and when they first came here, they were living downtown because everything was going on just a few blocks east of the river. But in 1870, he purchased this 2-acre plot of land. Other gentlemen had started buying up parcels of land out here in what was then the outskirts of Memphis, so they could get away from the city goings on, kind of that filth and what have you, and have some land, a little bit of land out here, and have a prestigious home built. And Amos wanted Phoebe to feel like the queen of her own castle. She would go back to New Jersey homesick, and he was wanting that to kind of like, come on, Phoebe, let's stay put. So the story goes, this is a story that's always been passed down to us, that the mansion was built to appease Phoebe. And that's not a bad thing. She needed to be appeased. She sacrificed a lot to come down here. So they broke ground in 1870 and moved in 1871 in late autumn. They were only here about 12 years though. A lot of work for only being here about 12 and a half years. Okay, so in 1883, after the Woodruffs were only here about 12 and a half years, sadly, there were circumstances that they could not control that made them sell the mansion. One of those being Memphis during the yellow fever epidemics of the 1870s. They were horrific. 1873, the Woodruffs had only been here a couple of years. 1873, a bout of fever came through, yellow fever. It was really bad. It was horrific. But only around 2,000 souls died. I say only 2,000 because 5 years later, in 1878, it was literally hell on earth here. Fever came rolling through in early August. And it did not let up until the first hard frost at the end of October. And take in mind that at that time in American history, they still did not know yet what was causing the fever. We know now, of course, and we're very well protected in our part of the world, it's mosquito-borne, it's mosquito-transmitted. At that time, they had a feeling it had to do with some summer, some water, some swamps, etc. But it was every man for himself. We have to do what we can do. But there was no, at that time, there weren't like really strict sanitary protocol in cities, etc. That would come after. But anyway, so Mr. Woodruff, like many businessmen here at that time after 1878, Memphis was left like a ghost town. We were just under 50,000 in early 1878. Memphis was to be the New York City of the South. We were growing so fast. We were just leaps and bounds. We were producing more millionaires at that time in the country than any other place in the United States, and we were bound for glory. However, once that fever set upon us in 1878, it was, like I said, hell on earth. After the hard frost in October, when the dust settled, as they say, and the air cleared, we were down to possibly around 7,000 to 9,000 people. There was a mass exodus in the early days of the fever. If you weren't dying from it, you were running from it. That's how it was. And most of those people that ran from it just would not come back. And Memphis was left a ghost town. Many businesses closed down. Mr. Woodruff, of course, like many other businessmen, really their personal fortunes took a huge hit. That combined with some national gold panics that went through. The price of gold bottomed out, and those were heavily invested. They lost a ton of what they had worked so hard to acquire. Mr. Woodruff being one of those. They had to make the hard decision to sell the mansion in the early 1880s. So in comes this beautiful couple right here. This is Nolan and Virginia Fontaine. Nolan Fontaine was born in Terre Haute, Indiana, but he was raised in Louisville. His family, the Fontaine family, they go back generations in Louisville, Kentucky. He came to Memphis in 1861 at the age of 21. And like many other men at that time, he was coming to establish some type of career, some type of business opportunities. First, though, he fell in love with Virginia Eanes. She was a local young lady, and they got married in 1864. Now, in 1883, he was the founder of one of the most successful cotton factory and wholesale grocery businesses in the United States. It was actually the largest and most successful in the United States and third in the world. He and his partner named Napoleon Hill. He was doing quite well because he came to Kentucky, a little inexperienced. He had some money, but it was family money. But he was 21 years of age, the 19th century, a 21-year-old man, and you're an adult, son. A little bit inexperienced, but he was educated and he was very shrewd. So when he partnered with Napoleon Hill, it was nothing but good times, you know, building businesses. And cotton was king here in Memphis. Well, that's what we used to be called, King Cotton. So he got in on the right market. Mr. Woodruff had dabbled in it, but everything of his took a beating after the yellow fever and the gold panics I spoke of. So he and Virginia get married in 1864. In early 1883, he is really just getting to the top of his game, and his family is growing, and he knows that Mr. Woodruff is needing to sell the home on Adams Avenue. So he goes to Mr. Woodruff because they were business associates. They did know one another. How close they were as far as friends, we don't know, but they did know one another. But Mr. Fontaine also knew there was pride at stake. He couldn't just go up to Mr. Woodruff and say, Amos, I hear you broke. Give me your house. It was nothing like that. There was pride at stake. They struck a gentleman's agreement. They actually traded homes, and the Fontaines gave the Woodruffs $40,000. The Woodruffs were not destitute, but they had really fallen. Their fortune had really fallen. So I imagine that $40,000 and a simple home swap was a blessing to them. So Phoebe Woodruff could go and move into a very well-established, fashionable town home that had been established by the Fontaines. So she did not have to go even back to New Jersey or go and find some lower class housing. That would have been such a disgrace for Madam Phoebe. I would hate to think that would happen. So it was, we'll say, a win-win. but we don't know. We don't know. There was probably some heartache involved, a little bit of business maneuvering that maybe seems a little not quite ethical maybe to us today. We don't know. But they moved in 1883, 6 children. They would have 3 more that were born here in the mansion. They lost a child at 11 months old, but they still raised eight children here, 4 girls and 4 boys. Very well-loved family. They were the glamour couple here when they moved into onto Adams Avenue, Millionaires Row as it became known as. Because we look at them, they were young, they were beautiful, they're about 20 years younger than the Woodruffs. And they were, I made this reference before, the Brangelina of the day, but you know, Brangelina, they're divorced, but you get the reference, yeah? So they had well-known parties. Whenever some dignitaries, presidents, governors, President Grover Cleveland came to this mansion more than once. Mr. Fontaine was always at the forefront. He and Napoleon Hill and a few other distinguished gentlemen in town would be at the forefront of greeting the dignitaries. And they came from all over the world. And this was the couple that they wanted to meet. So, Mr. Fontaine has been a very successful businessman for many years in the city of Memphis. He passed away at the age of 72 in September of 1912. Lovely Virginia lived about 16 years longer, and she died peacefully upstairs in her bedroom in 1928, surrounded by children and grandchildren.
Wow. Wow.
We strive to continue the legacy of both families today. We hope that we do them proud. We're very respectful. We expect that of our guests. We have very few rules when you come here. The usual, don't touch our antiques, etc. Don't taunt anybody. Don't look at a photo and you know, just be respectful, be kind. Our lovely proper parlor, also known as the ballroom. The mansion is large, but it is not large enough to have a separate ballroom. Now, the families, being prominent families with full social calendars, socializing would have been a norm. Mm-hmm. And this room was very important when they were entertaining. And the servants would come and move all the furniture out, leaving this lovely large room for guests to mingle and dance, etc. So this was, let's say, the party room of the home. And that's why we refer to it as the ballroom. And technically it's the proper parlor. Every Victorian home, no matter the economic status of the home, they would have had a proper parlor. That's something you would strive for in your home. So what we have on now on our mannequins, we are very fortunate here at the Woodruff Fontaine that we have had so many generous benefactors, and they've not only donated furnishings, china, crystal, etc., but also beautiful, beautiful vintage clothing. These are from turn of the century going into the early 1910s and teens. If you want to say all the fun was held here on the first floor with the parties and the soirees, well, the second floor, that's where all the family secrets played out. That's where the families lived the majority of their lives. Up here on the second and third floors, private family time. Back in the 19th century and in portions of the 20th century, of course, outside entertainment had become available, but on average, a family just didn't go to the cinema or the plays or the opera houses as often as you would think. They did start going more and more as it became available, but the majority of their personal time was spent here in their homes. Their homes were their world, and their world was inside their homes. Now the Fontaines, they did a lot of outside socializing. Memphis had some very fine opera houses at one time. We were in the cutting edge of having the early cinemas where those new films were being shown, and there were all kinds of outside entertainment venues that started becoming available. However, we as a modern society, we do a lot of socializing outside of our home. We do the majority of things outside of our home, I think it's safe to say. I know there are millions and millions of homebodies around the world, but we also as a people like to be out in the world. At that time, their home was their world. So they spent a huge part of time upstairs. This was the master bedroom of the home. We do have some of the Fontaine's belongings here. That was Mrs. Fontaine's beautiful mahogany writing desk. That was a mirror that belonged to the Fontaines. It's up there on the mantle now. When the Woodruffs moved in, their daughter Molly, who was 19 at the time, got married downstairs. And when she came back from a 2-month honeymoon in New Orleans, she and her new husband settled here. This was their bedroom. On the other side of the bed is a door that connects to the second room, and that was their parlor. Okay. So that's the way it would work in those days. Again, you didn't really hang out so much on the first floor if you weren't entertaining. So you spent your family time up here. So bedroom, connected parlor. Like across the hall, there's a connected parlor from the family, the master bedroom. We're open Wednesday through Sunday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.
And people can go online to purchase tickets?
They absolutely can go online to purchase tickets. They can come in the day of and purchase them right here in the mansion, or they can go online for their convenience. We offer both, and we take credit cards online, of course, credit cards and cash in the museum once you get here.
Awesome. What do you hope that guests take away after the tour?
I will tell you, the best thing for me is when our guests compliment with things such as, it is so beautiful, it looks as though someone's still living here. It is exquisite. I always get a really good feeling when people say, it looks like someone's living here, it's alive with beautiful furnishings. That is what I love, because I'm like, that's what we strive for. We stage the home as though the family is still here. Families that lived here, that they're still here, they're carrying out their daily routine. So people will get a sense of the hard work and the preservation efforts. It's not easy. I mean, honestly, it's not. It's run on a tiny staff and some volunteers. We wouldn't be here without volunteers. I started as a volunteer. So we like it when people compliment our hard work. We know it's paid off.
How would you like to win some tickets to the Atlanta Braves home game throughout the 2025 season? If the answer to that question is yes, go to our website, RoundTableTV.net, and scroll down the home page, and you will see trivia contest. Answer all 5 questions correctly, and you will be entered into a drawing to win Braves tickets. We'll be doing this throughout the 2025 season. So you can also purchase tickets on our website as well for select Atlanta Braves home games. So look forward to giving away tickets this year, and go Braves.
Hi everyone, this is Ben with RoundTable Media. Here at RoundTable Media, we are dedicated to producing a variety of content. Whether it's news and information or education and entertainment, you're sure to find it here at RoundTable Media. If you're a fan of history, this is definitely the place you want to be. Visit historic locations with our History Across America series. We talk to people making a difference, and we visit some really cool locations in the process. Consider becoming a paid subscriber for as little as $8 a month or $129 a year. By becoming a paid subscriber, you have access to exclusive content, extended interviews, and up to 20% off prices on our online store. And your subscription allows us to continue to produce quality content for your screen. Watch us on your Roku device, Amazon Fire TV, or by downloading our app, available in the Apple App Store or Google Play. We also offer our viewers a travel booking engine similar to Expedia or Travelocity. where you can get up to 30% off your next hotel or resort. The link is in the description. Have a great day, be safe, and thank you so much for your support.